The 1960s into the early 70s were the first big era of American players doing well not only in the pro leagues but at the Worlds and the Olympics after the miracle of 1960. And this player eventually made it to the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame for his efforts, not only as a pro player but with Team USA at various international events. The guy they call Gubio, strange nickname. To me, pound for pound, one of the best players ever to become from the beautiful community of Hibbing, Minnesota. So today we're going to be talking about the 5'9" wonder, Gary Gambucci. Now, Gary Allen Gambucci is an American retired ice hockey forward who played a grand total of 51 games in the NHL with the Minnesota North Stars and another 112 for the Minnesota Fighting Saints of the WHA. Now, between 71 and 76 was his key years because internationally he also played for the American national team at 4 Worlds. Now, before turning pro, Gambucci excelled as a scorer for the United States national team at the 69, 70, and 71 World Championships, as well as University of Minnesota hockey squad. Gambucci was eventually signed as a free agent by the Habs in the spring of 71 after scoring 7 goals in 10 games for Team USA at the 71 Worlds in Bern. He was also elected to the Tournament All-Star team at the World Championship Pool B qualifying tournament in 1970. The Canadians actually immediately traded him for a bit of paradise to the North Stars for cash. Of course, the great Bob Paradise. Gambucci failed to become a regular in Minnesota despite several chances and left the NHL for the Minnesota Fighting Saints of the rival WHA following the 74 season. He eventually retired from pro hockey in 76 after playing 112 WHA regular season games for the Fighting Saints, as well as representing the United States at the 76th World Title event in Katowice, Poland. Now, the center, 5'9", 175, and again, a good two-way forward. First came to major prominence with the University of Minnesota in 1966, where he had 40 points in 28 games, including 23 counters. 67, he had 27 points in 29 games, including 17 goals. 68, 41 points in 31 games. Now, 69 was a very interesting campaign. He played with the Rochester Mustangs of the USHL, but mostly the American national team for most of the campaign. In 1970, he played with the Muskegon Mohawks of the IHL, the Rochester Mustangs again of the USHL, and of course for the American national team at the 1970 event, with the 3 goals in six games, including 1 assist. 71, his big breakout year. He averaged a goal a game for the American national team, 51 goals, 47 assists for 98 points and 50 contests. Now, his first NHL action was with Minnesota in 72, where he had a goal in 9 games. Of course, he started a campaign in the Montreal system and played with the Barons as well. 10 goals, 11 assists for 21 points in Cleveland and 6 playoff contests. In 73, with the Cleveland Jacksonville Barons, he had 76 points in 75 games, including 26 counters. Now, 74, he was giving a bigger shot with Minnesota, but he only scored once in 42 contests. That year, he also played with New Haven Nighthawks for 3 games in the AHL with 1 goal, and also with the Portland Buckaroos of the WHL with 26 points in 21 games. 75 was a much better campaign for him in his rookie season in the WHA, a WHA rookie. He had 37 points in 67 games, including 19 counters and 4 goals in 12 playoff matches. He also played with the Johnstown Jets that year with 8 points in 7 games, including 1 counter. Last season with Minnesota, he had 16 points in 45 games, including 10 goals. Now, in 76, it evened out these WHA numbers with 53 points in 112 games, including 29 goals, 4 goals in the postseason. NHL, 2 goals, 7 assists for 9 points for 51 games. Now, United States, the big numbers, of course, at the World Championships in 69, 2 points in 10 games. In the B level in 1970, that got the States back in the World A pool, 18 points in 7 games, including 11 counters. 71, he had 7 goals, 3 assists for 10 points in 10 games. And 76, although he didn't play in the Olympics, he should have. He had 1 goal, 4 assists for 5 points. So at the world level, the world championship level, a big 20 goals in 37 games, 35 points. Now, numerous awards of honors again, other than the United States Hockey Hall of Fame. In 2006, he was all WCHA second team, 65-66. He was all WCHA first team, 67-68. And he was AHCA West All American, 68. And of course, the United States Hockey Hall of Fame in 2006. Now, he was also the WHA Sophomore of the Year at 65-66. And he was succeeded by, get this, Bob Monroe and Keith Magnuson. So good prospects all. But that class of 2006 of the United States Hockey Hall of Fame, it was a very prestigious class, including Curly Brink and the great Mike Milbury. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, it's quite often we say Minnesota at the time built U.S. hockey to a certain extent, not only the amateur level, but in the late 60s, early 70s. And let me tell you something, to play for the big tree, I call it the top tree. That's the Golden Trio, the Fighting Saints, whatever incarnation, the Stars, and Minnesota as well in U of M. Just tremendous. But what really stood out for me for Gubbio, or Gibbio, whatever you want to pronounce it, when he got the Americans back into the Worlds, they were having a hard time in that tournament. They were relegated, and he rebuilt that team towards the World. So he gave his best. But like I said, like a Bobby Lalonde or a Cole Caulfield, size is not everything. 5'10", 175 as a center, you got to be tough. And this guy was tough. We all know within hockey circles how people from what do you call non-urban Minnesota, how tough they are. And Gary was, like I said, tougher than a $4 steak. I really appreciate the good fans he's had over the years, and I'm glad he got into the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame in 2006, because it was the 30th anniversary again of his last year playing for U.S. at the world level. So it was more than And at the age of 30, quitting hockey, I mean, he could have gone on for a few more years, but I think he would just he reached a level where he said, "Well, I've done almost what I want to do in hockey. Maybe this is the peak," and that's what happens. Sometimes hockey players back in the day start their 18 and end with their 30, and this was happening to him. He was, if I'm not mistaken, he started university play as a 19-year-old, and what a career in hockey. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing here, what our salute to great U.S. What they call foundational players of the 60s and 70s on the national level. Let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And if you have any memories of him as a player or a teammate, because he played with numerous teams, let us know. We'd like to hear from you. And again, keep your stick in the ice. Bye.